Hello guys, welcome to Study IQ. Today we are going to have a very interesting discussion from Indian economy. Let me first tell you the agenda for discussion. See, we are going to give certain suggestions for the government. It is based on an article where the writers C. Rangarajan and D.K. Srivastava, they highlight what center must do to meet the economic challenges following the COVID-19 pandemic's second wave. So it's a very important discussion. Prominent writers have written this. So it is going to be a suggestive discussion. And we all know that what would be the suggestion? The suggestion would be to spend more. Now this is quite understandable. But why? See, whenever there is a recession, whenever there is a slowdown, the best policy to come out of it would be to enhance the aggregate demand. And how would we enhance the aggregate demand? If the government follows an expansionary fiscal policy and if the central bank, that is the RBI, follows an expansive monetary policy, money would be pumped into the economy and the aggregate demand will increase. That's basic economics 101, isn't it? So this is quite understandable. One of the suggestions would be to spend more because these economists will obviously tell we need to get out of this slowdown or the recession. But C. Rangarajan and D.K. Srivastava, at the end of the discussion, they will also highlight a warning signal for the government, because if we spend more and more, what would be the potential problem going into future? Let's discuss all these aspects in this particular video. And if you're preparing for UPSC Civil Service examination for your interview, for your personality test, there is a question also here. Let us begin. I am your friend Rahul Saigaonkar, and if you want to follow me, you can follow me on these IDs. And if you're preparing for UPSC Civil Services examination, just go to the description of this particular video. You will find all the details about the schemes and the programs that Study IQ is running. Right, let's first talk about the question from the exam perspective. It's a typical question for personality test, for interview. Imagine that you are a secretary in the Ministry of Finance. So do let me know your fiscal policy for Indian economy, which is reeling under the problems of COVID-19 pandemic. So try to frame an answer for this. What would you do? What would be your plan of action to bring Indian economy back on track, which has been, I would say, adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, right? That's the question for you. Right, let's talk about the news first, why we are discussing this. See, we all know that in May last week this year, important updates have come regarding the Indian GDP, and the NSO's provisional estimates, they do highlight that Indian economy is going to go in negative, that is minus 7.3%. There will be GDP contraction. And we understand that the GDP has to grow in a positive direction to ensure that we reach the GDP levels which were there at least before the beginning of the pandemic. So what we need is an average growth rate of about 7.8% this year and potentially in the coming years also to reach to 2019 and 20 GDP levels. Now, the estimates are there. The estimates have been revised also. So we do know that the GDP growth projections which were given for this particular fiscal year, 2021 and 2022, they are being revised. It's quite understandable why. Because of the second wave. The second wave was underestimated by everybody. So now, factoring in the impact of the second wave, many people are giving the estimates. Now, RBI itself has given the estimate that this year, the real GDP growth forecast would be plus 9.5%. Again, a very good news for Indian economy. But this is the RBI's estimate. Indian rating agency ICR has estimated that it would be feasible for us to grow by 9% this year. But if you talk about the other agencies from abroad, Societe Generale has suggested that our growth rate would be lower, 8.5%. Moody's projection is much lower, 7.6%. Whatever projection that may be here, but one thing is quite understandable, that right now, Indian economy is looking at the downward trend, and as soon as the unlock phase begins, we know that in this year, basically March, April, May, even in June, many states are under lockdown. As soon as the lockdown opens up slowly and steadily, the economy has to run back, right? We need to get back on the track, isn't it? And to do that, what do we need to do? We do understand that the normal expenditure is going on. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, there would be an added expenditure. So it's simple, right? When you talk about the budget, there is some revenue. Right now, the revenue is down, but the expenditure is very high. The yearly expenditure will go on. The salaries, the normal expenditure goes on. But COVID-19 has added 3 more expenditure heads. That is what C. Rangarajan says, that 3 new expenditure heads would be added, which cannot be avoided at all. Now, what would those be? The first would be an increase in the provision of income support, especially to the vulnerable groups. See, I would say the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the funding for that, it has to be enhanced. Approximately, say, 1 lakh crore, right? 1 lakh crore higher amount would be needed to ensure that money is put into the pocket of vulnerable people so that they can survive. That is the subsistence money that is needed. So this is unavoidable expenditure, isn't it? The second expenditure would be on the vaccination drive. Now, this year's budget we saw for the vaccination about 0.35 lakh crore has been allocated, and economists highlight here that we need to at least double the rate. That means around 0.7 lakh crore is needed for vaccination drive. Now, we need to augment this vaccination because as soon as the country is vaccinated, it would have a positive impact on Indian economy also. So, two expenditures are already there. That means one with respect to the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, giving income to poor and vulnerable people, and increasing budget for vaccination. And the third additional capital expenditure would be on select sectors, predominantly on healthcare and infrastructure, to bring back the Indian economy on track. So these three are the additional expenditures along with whatever the normal expenditure was going on yearly. Now, see, it's common economics. Your revenue has reduced, your expenditure has increased. Where would you lead to? You would lead to a deficit. Now, what kind of a deficit? Together, whatever additional expenditures that we discussed added to a normal year, we are looking at a fiscal deficit this year of about 7.9% of the GDP. And what is this fiscal deficit? I hope that the viewers are aware of fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit, in a nutshell, is basically the excess of total expenditure over the total non-borrowed receipts. That is called as the fiscal deficit. And if we look at the FRBMA, what is FRBMA? It's a Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, which basically brings financial prudence in India. According to it, we need to keep the fiscal deficit at a limit of 3% of the GDP. And where are we reaching? This is just an estimate, 7.9% of the GDP. So this is quite understandable that in the coming years, our expenditure would be more and more and the revenue is less. So we are heading towards a deficit. And if we are heading towards a deficit, then there would be rise in the interest rates, etc. It is quite understandable. And the government also knows it. Since the government is spending more and more money, it knows that we will run into deficit. And if you look at the news, this year, you already know that the government is going for more and more borrowing. Now, this is a news from May 2021 in the GST Council meeting. To take care of the GST shortfall, the government has announced that they are going to borrow about 1.58 lakh crore rupees to basically fund the cess cap, right? So borrowing has already started. Apart from that, RBI has paid dividend. This is again a news from May where RBI has paid about 99,000 crores to the government. It's a very high dividend considering 1 year. Although right now it might be justified, but it cannot be a permanent solution. Now, do let me know in the comment section, what is the problem with this, with monetizing this deficit? So one simple solution can be RBI can simply print the money, isn't it? So if I have a deficit, then I can simply print money, I can give it to the government. But what is the problem in that? Do let me know, because it's a very, very important pointer for you to understand that the easiest solution is, see, if I do not have money, if my budget, I get some pocket money, I spend more, I have some deficit. What I can do? I can borrow from someone, but borrowing it from RBI in terms of money, what is the problem with it? Do let me know in the comment section, right? So the discussion here is that the government, they have already started borrowing. Along with it, the RBI has also been very accommodative. Please try to understand, it is not just the government. The fiscal policy is already expansionary, but try to understand that the RBI's monetary policy has also been very, very expansionary. This is again a news from June, where the bi-monthly policy rates have come. Repo rate has been unchanged and the accommodative stance is going to continue as long as necessary. That was highlighted by the Governor Shaktikanta Das. That means the government and the RBI are going hand in hand towards an expansionary fiscal as well as an expansionary monetary policy. Quite understandable. I told you at the beginning of the discussion that whenever there is a background, whenever there's a deficit, then we go for expansionary policies. So it's quite understandable. Now, when we go for expansionary policies, we go for heavy borrowing also. The government is going for heavy borrowing, but the interest rates are still low for everybody. Now, why is this happening? Because they want to enhance the aggregate demand, isn't it? So the government is running a fiscal policy which is expansionary. The RBI is helping it, although I would say directly also by giving a lot of dividend. Indirectly also they are helping by giving or by putting liquidity into the system. In the short run, it is quite fine. But the writers warn here that injection of liquidity has its limit, because See, government is injecting money through, say, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. They are putting money in the pockets of people so that they can spend in the economy to enhance the aggregate demand. The RBI is keeping the rates unchanged, so trying to keep the loans going on. So they are pumping in liquidity, but it has limits, because if we pump in too much of money, there would be a problem of inflation. That is what we need to keep an eye on. That is what C. Rangarajan and D.K. Srivastava advise the government, that it is very fine in the time of crisis, expansionary policy is fine, but we need to keep an eye on inflation going forward. That's the basic agenda of our discussion. I hope that the concepts are clear here. I hope that the suggestion which makes sense, spend money, but very carefully by keeping in mind the inflation rate of the nation. That's it right now from my side. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.